Look, I'm sitting in the car right now, and I'm you know, it's raining outside, so, and it got me thinking about when I was locked up in August, like in 2008, and Hurricane Gustav came. But we just came back from Callahoola, you did? We just came back from Callahoola, and we came out there and made a blank trip because the courtroom was closed because of the weather and shit like that. Now here it is when we get to Central Booking. Central Booking packed as a mug. It's packed as a mug, man. I'm talking about, bro. We in the part where they taking off our shackles and shit like that because they brought us from Callahoola straight to the Parish because the court closed, and they taking off the shackles. And I'm looking in the cages, you heard me, in the front in Central Booking. I'm looking in that bitch because I'm noticing they got more people than average in there. You know what I'm saying? But the sheriffs started bringing people in, alcoholics and everything. You know what I'm saying? The storm about to get ready to hit. So they didn't have no room for the putters on line. So it kept getting packed and packed and packed. So they finally up and decided to open up a part in the Q building. Here the shit go. So they got like about, I ain't lying, about like 100 of us. And they got the part where you got to pick up your mattress. Because if you don't pick up your mattress as you walk, you're not guaranteed of getting up because they got that many people in there. Real shit. They got that many people in there. So as I go to get my mattress, I'm looking at a dude in front of me turn around and said, "It's a nice mattress, thug." Real shit, he just said it's a nice mattress, and it sounded weird, but I wasn't paying attention. You know what I'm saying? So we all gone in the Q building, we go in that bitch, and we on, I forgot what it was Q something. But it was filthy as a motherfucker. I ain't lying, based on a true story. It was filthy as a motherfucker. And when I tell you, they told us just to catch the float. You know what I'm saying? Catch the float, catch the spot, and shit like that. The old prison flooded up because the rain starting to rain, and it's raining through parts of that bitch. Real shit. Now here it is. They got a bunch of dudes in there. They got no deputies to watch everybody, and they're just leaving them. Now here, the kicker part is the phones ain't coming on, so dudes can't call home to check on their family. Like they gave a fuck about them when they was out in the street. Real shit. You know what I'm saying? They getting mad and shit like that there. You know what I'm saying? The TV ain't coming on because that part really lost power. And I remember when the generator kicked on, and it kicked on for us, it kicked on for them, other people, you heard me? For the people to look inside the keys and shit so they can see. They can't see us where all the drama supposed to be about to happen. You dig what I'm saying? So, as they started bringing in more and more people to the Q building while we laying down comfortably on our mattress on the floor, straight floor, no beds, nothing, straight floor. And some people, we noticed some people starting to come in without no mattress. And the shit started right then and there. They got dudes coming in there figuring that they on their way, they could just up and take a nigga shit. Real shit. I was so happy that I wasn't the first person that they tried to make an example out of. I seen a dude get up to go take a piss over there to the pistol. Real shit. And as he came back, the guards was bringing in a whole line of more dudes in that shit. So as a dude walking in there with his slippers, he just looking and shit, looking both ways and looking on the floor. I'm sitting over there with my cover over me like I'm sleeping, but I'm really looking, trying to pay attention. So as I noticed, he went and sat over there on the mat. And old boy told him, he said, "Bro, that ain't your mattress, bro. You need to get up out that bitch." So as I'm looking at them, getting ready to argue over the mattress, they wind up, start fighting over the mattress. Dudes told them, "Come on, let's finish dancing in the shower where the people can't see them." They already can't see us because they ain't got no fucking body around that bitch. So as I noticed, while they was fighting over the mattress, I noticed some more dudes coming in there, and they figured they could do the same shit. But dudes them really over there fighting over the mattress, over the people shit, the state shit. You dig what I'm saying? But they got dudes coming in now because the prison's so packed. And they don't have all that shit. So some of them started coming in there just with blankets. And then some of them started coming in there without blankets. So I noticed late that night, you heard the gates rack. And what they did, they racked open, and the guards didn't know the bitches was open. I noticed dudes started getting up and just looking out that bitch, real shit. Based on a true story, they started getting up looking out this shit. And man, I noticed dudes started walking on the hall, running on the hall like they free and shit. This shit was like a movie. You don't believe me when I'm telling you this shit is real based on true story. And as they was doing that shit, I heard a door open. And as the door opened, I heard feet, bare feet, they just running. And I heard guards chasing them, and they got the mace. So this what they decided to do. They come in there, man, they came in there deep. Man, they like about 30 deputies, man. 30 of them bitches, young, old, white, ugly, black, Mexican. They was all in that bitch. Man, and they got us all lined up on the wall, you heard me? And as we all lined up on the wall, I'm telling you based on true story, we lined up on the wall. The guards come around that bitch with some mace. Listen what I'm saying. They come around that bitch with some mace. They come with the mace, and they started spraying everybody in the face, and as they getting closer and closer, I'm looking at dudes coughing, coughing and shit, and can't see nothing. And I'm looking at them getting closer to me, so I call myself trying to block the shit. The guard backed me down, and they all, like 3 or 4 of them bitches came and just sprayed me all the way down, I can't see shit. I'm doing like this here. I'm doing like this here. I'm trying to open my eyes. I'm feeling the back of the brick wall that I'm on. I'm hearing other dudes starting to holler and shit because the shit hitting them so hard. The shit had me itching and everything. I'm telling you real shit. Based on the truth, I can't stand that motherfucking prison. But they had the other dudes was spraying as they passed me up. And I remember myself trying to go run to the shower, and I'm not knowing that I'm not supposed to really put no water on this shit. You know what I'm saying? And as I'm going to put water on this shit, I'm telling you, the shit started burning the fuck out of me, man. I was sitting there, my eyes, it was like I was just rubbing it. They telling me to stop rubbing it. And I remember myself, they calling me out after they sprayed me. God damn. They decided to take me go to the medic. And when I went to the medic, man, the medic was, if anybody knows, the medic supposed to be laid back, is up there to the front by the people, and it's supposed to be safe and shit, real shit. I went to the medic and I called myself, they came and they told me to sit down. And I sit on the bench and a nurse came to see me, and she tried to open my eyes, and as she tried to open my eyes, I grabbed her hand. I said, ma'am, that shit burned. The guard grabbed me and said, you ought to go see your ship, let us check it or not. You know what I'm saying? Man, you know when somebody big, you ain't got to see him, you can hear him. And as I see myself, the nurse, she got up and she walked me, the guard opened up another door. And as he opened up the door, I can't see, I'm really feeling my way through, and I'm feeling him as he's telling me to follow him. Come on, like I can fucking see. So as I noticed, I thought he was leading me to this bed here on the right side when he really was just telling me to get in the bed on the left side. And as I noticed I was getting in the bed on the right side, I was sitting down and I started feeling something that just didn't feel comfortable to me, real shit. And I felt, and I put my hand on it, and they got a dude with a casket up on his leg, and he gets up and started grabbing me and talking about he won't fight with one fucking leg. Man, if you don't sit your broke-legged ass down, that's the way I'm saying in mine. So as I'm in this bitch, and I'm laying in the bed now, it's storming. The little power they had in that bitch, that shit that went out. A lady come in there and she asked me, all right, is I'm all right, and shit like that. And I'm telling you, all that weekend I went through hell. So I noticed that next morning when I woke up and I looked and tried to open up my eyes was real stiff. They was tight. And it was bloodshot red. The guards come in there and they come in there and I see they call out a list, and the list was supposed to go back to where we was. Man, now here the kicker part is, when I left out that bitch, I had a mattress. Real shit. I had a mattress when I left out that bitch. But when I went back to that bitch, the mattress that I thought was mine wasn't mine no more. They got a dude sitting up there on the brick wall, laying down with his feet halfway down in the back up on the mattress that was supposed to be mine, that I thought was still mine. I go over there, I see my bag open and shit like that. It's been open. Shit looked like it's been out of place, and I noticed it because I noticed that's how I didn't leave my shit. Because when all this other shit, I was holding my shit tight. You know what I'm saying? So as I noticed that shit, I asked WOULDNT, that's what the words they use. I was asking WOULDNT, Do you mind if I get my mattress? Dude looking at me started talking about how bad you want it and shit like that. I said, check this out, you can have it. All I did was went up there to the gate and stood up for a little while. And as I stood up a little while, I had my 2 blankets and a half a pillow that the Parish, East Baton Rouge Parish prison gave me for to lay cock my head on. I had that. Decided to go lay over there by the phones because that's the only spots looked like they had open, you know what I'm saying? So I decided to go over there and lay by the phones. And as I went lay by the phones, on the concrete, with one gray wool blanket, half holes in this bitch, and another one on top of me, I'm laying on this bitch, and I notice this bitch is hard. And ain't shit I could do about it because I put myself, again, I tell you, I put myself in that situation. Man, the crazy part to come about, they come in there with some trays, and the dudes had carts, and they had cups. I don't know if they miscounted or what, or did they count it all because they didn't have enough for everybody to go around. Now here the problem goes, if you're hungry, you really have to fight for that shit. And I didn't figure that I was that hungry, you know what I'm saying? But as it got to me, they got a bag and a cup. They got about 50 other motherfuckers lined up behind me who about to be shot of this bag and this cup. That's what I was thinking. Man. Say, bro, to tell y'all this shit. You know, it's crazy when you got to fight over some shit that really ain't for nobody. The people just gave it to you and it's free. And I knew in my mind that they was fucking coming back to give us these people some more shit. But actuality, they really wasn't coming. And I didn't know for sure wasn't they coming or not. I took my chance and started eating the fucking cookies. And the half a sandwich, well, it's a whole sandwich split in half. I'm looking at the dudes for strange reason. I'm the only one out there. Everybody else seems to be worried about these other fucking 49, 50 dudes right here. I look to my right and I'm dude watching me eat and I'm eating. I'm smacking. I ain't lying. Shit good. I ain't ate nothing from that night all the way to that time. Real shit. And look, then when I was eating that bitch, I was eating it and I was smacking. The dude was looking on side me and he was mugging me. It really didn't pay me no fucking attention and it didn't bother me because, you know, I got one more half a sandwich left. Dude telling me, man, you ain't gonna share none of that with me and shit like that. I'm like, man, that bitch is about to be gone, thug. That's what I call it. Man, that dude said, you don't know me like that to be calling me no thug and all this other shit like this. And then all of a sudden, guess what? Nigga got that bitch and slapped that bitch out my hand. That bitch hit the floor. Talking about you don't like it, go get it up out there. I ain't tripping about the sandwich. I did eat the other half. Man, but I just had to tell y'all about the time with Gustav. Stay tuned.